Hello, travelers, gamers alike. We're finishing up this town. We've got to finish up this town, move on to the next. I've done some contemplating. It's been some time, between the recording of these. IRL, in game, not at all. But in game, my character and me have come to a bit of agreement. So let's get back into the more roleplay aspect of this. I have come to an understanding of something. Zombies, fucking scary, right? Any amount of respawn, them coming in, is mildly horrifying. So what I'm going to do is here, not yet, but I'm changing my goal. I don't like dealing with zombies. I really don't. And, I'm a security guard. I always wanted to be in the army. So what I'm going to do is equip myself with a solid loadout, guns, whatever. Go through cities and kill every single zombie roaming the streets that I can. And leave that city cleared. That will be a mission, and so on. I have essentially planned my next forever in this game. Maldro is clear, so is Erie Country. We went through and we cleared those cities very well. From here on out, it's going to be a case of progressing. We're going to make another base up north, and these are base bases. I think I talked about this before, but I'm going to go over it mildly again. Base bases are different than houses, forts, whatever. Base bases are these places I'm just going to dump as much weapons and ammo into that I can always return and get more. The reason I'm making another one up north is because the church are going to be our southern hemisphere. We're going to make one up there for Louisville, Riverside, all that. And then eventually we'll make one in the middle for Raven Creek and all of that. Just because there's so much. Outside of that, that is our end goal, is to make all those, and then eventually I will retire. If I don't fucking die, I'm going to retire. And what that's going to mean for me is we are going to go and, we're going to clear every city. It's going to be a ghost town. My goal is to be able to drive from one location to another, seeing 3-4 zombies, I left those. We aren't going to loot food. We already have food stockpiles at our base down south, and all the bases down south. We have huge food stockpiles through Erie Country and at the church. We're fine. What we are going to do is, mark stores. We're not going to burn down any more cities because that fucked me over so bad. Maldro was the deciding factor. We're never doing that again. It was very easy, but we burned down over half the buildings, which is just abysmal. And then going into the very late game, once we have cleared all the zombies, this will be maybe year 2 probably in game. We are going to, be out of food, out of power, and we're going to be eating. I don't believe in farming. To be frank, it's dirty work. There's so much canned food that I can't be asked to power generate a building, to refrigerate and freeze all this stuff, and then, farm there. Okay, yeah, it's great. It's sustainable. It's forever. I will loot cities until they are out of food, move on to the next one, and then we will build forts in those cities, or bases. They aren't the same. They're for stockpiling food, and then we'll stay at those as long as we need. And that is my plan forever, is these missions, these kill missions, to clear out every zombie. I don't want to see a zombie. I want them all dead. And the issue with that is respawn is on. So what I'm going to do, and what I have to forewarn you guys about, is that we lose progress here in a couple episodes. There's a couple of just in-game, sandbox sandbox options, mods. I downloaded one of them and used it. This is a couple episodes away. And there's like two versions of the same one. And it crashed me and corrupted the file. And so we lost, from my last backup to this one, which sucks. And I'm not going to be dishonest about that. That you can count that as a death if you want. Stop watching the series. Be like, fuck you. You fucked us over. Whatever. I died because it crashed. Like, it full on, like, lagged out. My character was dead. Like, it crashed the desktop, reload back in. My character's dead. And so I don't really know what to do when that was racking up like 4,000 errors in the corner and saying my character's dead. That save was kind of gone, to be honest. So I do either next episode or the episode after that, we will lose progress, and then there's going to be an episode getting it back. But I didn't record most of getting it back just for your guys' sake, so there's really no need to worry. Outside of that, we're going to, if you're watching at this point, you're enjoying it. So I'm going to forewarn you, I'm going to be a bit more roleplay from here on out. Like, it's describing what I'm doing, why I'm doing it. Trying to stay in character somewhat. I do like the commentating, but it also helps me have something to talk about. Like, just infinitely droning is not exactly the best. Accidentally clipped the ST out of that. It's hard editing audio in the apocalypse, especially in the fucking 80s. I've got my little computer, I'm over there clicking with that huge Apple mouse, those old huge Macs. Actually, it's the 80s, wouldn't it be an IBM? Or am I stupid? I mean, there was black and white security cameras. I don't fucking know. Guys, I'm a youngin'. I'm just simply possessing the body of this man from the 80s who schizophrenically runs around the world killing zombies. This could be an episode for him. There could be no zombies. That'd be horrifying. To be honest, that would be utterly mortifying. But no. I have worked a bit on his lore, and I'm not sure I'll get into it this episode in character, but I will at some point. I think I might do it next episode. There's actually a good chance of it. Either way, we're going to run through here. Let's make sure we're all healed. I'm going to do it now. It's worth it. It's in my notes for this episode, so let's pull out the phone. But, we're clearing up this town. We're going through these stores, There's so many zombies that I have to understand that there was just more people than there are houses. I'm not quite sure how that works. I think there's optimally 4, 5, 6 per house. It's, maybe some hippies. Maybe there was a reason there was a lot of people in town. But the streets are empty now, or as empty as shambling dead, let them be. And, at first there was people, you see all these accidents and stuff. There obviously was people round and about, fighting each other, doing stuff, but they all got infected. I've been bit, I breathed the air, I've ate the food. So, for whatever reason, I don't get infected. It's probably more of a curse than it is a blessing. But, I waited those 2 weeks down there in Erie Country in my cabin, just by the place I used to guard, that little warehouse, and we set up in that warehouse, and we're here. It's been, 3 months of trekking city to city, looting them, setting up a safe place, and moving on. I don't know why I do that. I really don't. I think it's not scary. If I were able to be infected, then maybe I'd have a reason to hunker down, a reason to try to live as long as possible. But they can tear off my skin, they can scratch me, lacerate me, leave me bleeding, but I can just make it back, bandage up, and be good. after a couple weeks, let it heal, let it scab. I don't know what there's to say. I guess I am often more upset by my clothes tearing and having to find new clothes or repair them than I am by the concept of, having a hole in my skin. Like, oh, great, I have to bandage it up. And it might be worse during winter because I think those cuts will sting in the cold, but I don't know. It's not that I don't feel pain, it's just boring. I don't know. I really don't. But yeah, no. Outside of that, and on to more out of character tangents. I do believe my next character, I've mentioned it before, but it's cemented now in my notes too. I have other zombie games I'm going to play before my next character after we retire this one and everything. But my next character is going to be 4 times pop, 6 times peak. Uh, I'm going to have infections, but I'm going to have cures. So that's going to be something crazy. And then, or I won't have cures. I'm not sure on that yet. And then my character after that is going to be very scarce zombies, so as low as possible. So maybe even 0.1, but they're going to be insanely strong sprinters. Yeah, I think that's pretty cool. So, like, just give the zombie apocalypse a different feel. And then after that, if I end up playing again, which of course I will, I'm going to do Impossible. I don't want you guys to think this is anytime soon. I'm talking like Build 43 will be out before the time I'm to this Sprinter one I'm wanting to do. Like, it will be 2087 by the time this is happening. You have no worries. This car is getting a little bit cluttered. I like the fact that I'm this loot goblin, but it is an issue, and I've come to understand that this hoarding is probably impulsive trauma from literally being in the apocalypse for my character. For me, it's just me gather up shiny objects, RPG player. But I have all these guns and ammo, and I gotta use them. So that's going to be the point of the missions. Death Dealer here. The car. My old car is called Death Dealer. And I'm not sure what to call this one. Like the ammo bus or something. But eventually I'll unload both those into the church and into my next place. And then we will we'll go ahead and take them on the missions, fill them with the stuff, and still keep it sorted and stuff, because there's no point not to sort it. It takes, let's say, tops 10 more minutes per mission to sort it in character, a couple more hours, and then I can unload it in a tenth of the time, because I'm not sorting through everything. I'm just, okay, let's take out all the 45, take it to our 45-pound crate, or 45, 0.45 bullet crate, and put everything in there. I'm also going to optimize that by a lot of the guns I get. I'm just going to put on the ground. I'm not going to keep them. And I think that's a cool little reminder to myself as I journey that I've been here. I've overcome this challenge, and I'm leaving stuff there in case I need it in the future. I think that's really cool. But outside of all that, we're going to fill up these storage houses full of stuff, these bases eventually full of food and stuff, and we're just going to take, be like, okay, let's take 800 bullets worth of magazines and go here and kill every single zombie we can before returning. It's going to be the long-term goal. Also, I just want to explore and know where everything is. I've got to go into these warehouses and grab basically building supplies. It's less that I'll ever use all of them, and I will use a lot of them. And more that a good stockpile is going to ensure setting up those secondary bases or whatever are going, forts, houses, lodgings, are going to be much easier if I can just go to the church or go to my base by Louisville and just grab, 800 nails, 200 planks. Planks, I don't really gather because you can just cut down trees. But outside of that, with a bunch of cleared cities, which are going to be wonderful, I don't think the implication will be lost on any of you when I'm going into these cities and just having the grandest time, to be frank. Like, I'm just going into these cities, oh, this is wonderful. There's no zombies, or it's going to be very absentee. Like, maybe I've noticed some zombies stay in the houses as long as they can, so they will hang out there until you come in, maybe because they don't hear you. It's a good insulated house. They don't rot as quickly. I can't exactly give a reasoning behind it. They just spawn when you look into the house. But, for practicality's sake, all these, cities we've cleared out, I can survive based off of the cities I already have cleared out. So it's down in Erie Country, up into the church. I don't know what that city's called. And the city beside it we burned down, and then Muldrow that we partially burned down. Out of all those cities, there's going to be plenty of food in all those. I could live to be a very old man and just live happily farming. But I think you guys got that tone in my earlier videos, that's not exactly what I'm wanting to do. Like, I'm wanting to go out with a bang, take all these guys out, take out the Nox infection. If this is not taking out the entire world, I want, when the military does come in here, or whatever, I want there to be no zombies left. Like, or little to no. I'm going to make this a better place for everyone. And I can't assume everyone's dead. I really can't. Every once in a while, I panic because I hear a gunshot. Now, that entirely could be in my head, but the fact that the zombies hear it too and pursue it makes me sure that there are other people around. Very small amount of people I'm not exactly intersecting paths with. And, there's all these people around, and they're doing what I'm not doing. They're off in the woods somewhere in their little house with their little farm. They're, fortifying these towns. As we come upon these towns, and these towns are fortified. Like, that one town had every single building, boarded up. I have to assume that is because they caught wind of it early, and they just didn't let people in, and they fortified. Another thing that I'm pursuing as a long-term goal is dismantling all these cars, all these burnt-out husks of vehicles. I want them out of the road, and I want to be able to joyride. Now, you've got to take advantage of the apocalypse sometimes. You've got to drive fast, get in accidents, have fun. What else is there to do? You're meant to enjoy yourself, to have a damn good time. It's not exactly the safest or the smartest, but I love fucking cruising around and having a good time. It's also why you see me eating cake. I don't exactly get why I don't know what the weight system is in game. I think it's kilograms. And your character has strength. I'm just going to say this in all honesty. I don't think 100 kilograms is overweight. Like, yeah, BMI, it's overweight. But if your character is athletic, running around, swinging a sword all day, that is musculature. Like, this game would call me overweight. But I work out every day. I run a mile every day. Like, I'm not flabby or, I'm not sedentary, I guess is the term I would use. And I don't know. It's, it's the game system. And it's made by, like, Swedes or whatever who would look at me and be like, by God, why have you attempted to become a silverback gorilla? I'm like, because muscle fun. But outside of that, my character, or me, I'm just going to spend every day enjoying it as much as possible, grabbing all the stuff, and with sorting this stuff, I like the system I have. In the rear car, the trailer, I have 308, 5.56, .45, 12 gauge, and explosives. In this one, we have basically everything else. Basically. I do like that division of goods, especially compared to the Dealer of Death, or I'm going to call this one the Duke of Death, another one the Dealer of Death. I like it just because there's stockpiles of guns. With the Dealer of Death and the Duke of Death, I do like what we do have in both of them, but I do think the Dealer of Death has a much inferior sorting system to the point where it pisses me off and I'm going to empty it. I know we spent forever gathering all those weapons and ammo, but we're going to sort them into the church and actually start using them. I spent, 2 months gathering weapons and ammo while not using a gun, like just using a blunt instrument. And off of that, I want to say upwards of 200,000 bullets in that car. That sounds about right. So I think I'm going to be fine and not run out anytime soon. I just have that anxiety that I'm going to run out. But I think it's completely like Monk from fucking the show Monk. I'm not exactly it's not an intelligent compulsion. It's this compulsion to gather up all this weapons and ammo, and I feel like I'm going to lose it, but I don't think I'm gonna. Which, is a positive. I'm not going to run out. I think I just need to figure that out on my own. Or I did figure that out on my own. So in complete honesty, I thought it was coming up here. Real quick, I'm going to show you. So I came up here around this bend, and we're going to do it real quick right here. And I thought, oh yeah, I'm just going to continue to this town to the right. But, Chinatown got in the way. There's a couple of these maps that don't show up, except for when you interact with them. I do love that. The fact that not every town tourism has a map that, adds it to my little... I don't really have a mini map. I like to think of it that I have a, paper map my character has. And so we're coming up here, and my character's a native from Erie Country. He's never left his town. He grew up right by that military base, the one I never went into, and that was for good reason, because he aspired. Let me get a little bit more in character. I aspired to join the military, and I swore to myself that I would go in there, eventually join. But once I graduate high school, I kind of that same high school I went to in episode 3 or something. Episode 3 of the original series. I went there and I was scared. I couldn't sign up, so I became a security guard at the place right by it. The little warehouse that stocked food and stocked supplies for them. That's kind of how I contributed. And then I never left. This happened. My character's... What age did I put him at? 22? So 4 years of working that dead-end job. Oh my gosh. They tore me a new one. I don't like knives for this very reason. See, what I talked about earlier? They can rip into me, they can hurt me. it's not going to do much. I'm going to be more upset about my clothes getting torn up, especially now that I have this chainmail stuff I'm wearing. But hey, it's pretty good. So we came in here. I got out my Super 90, like you do. I like to attract as many of them out of the town as possible. And so we're going to start shooting the absolute shit out of them. That's exactly what we're going to do. So we're going to go through this town that popped up in our way, essentially. We're going to clear away through the main road is going to be my primary goal, and then we'll clear out the rest of the town. It's going to be a lengthy process, but this video is coming to an end. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, or whenever you're watching this, hope you guys come back for more. If not, I hope you enjoyed your time here. I hope to see you guys again next time. If not, that's okay. Positive affirmations. Thank you guys for watching. I know I'm not the best at staying in character or out of character. It's a bit inconsistent, and it would not fly in a book or anything, but the blend with role-playing commentary might be okay. Thank you guys for watching. If you're listening to this, it means the world to me. And thank you guys for giving me your time and anything else.